To the family, I have an idea of the lifelong brainwashing and abuses you have each endured, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. It never should have happened, and you did not deserve to be treated that way for any reason. You should have been protected, and I'm so sorry you are not. That being said, you are now adults and there are children around you that are being mistreated and abused. Children who believe everything they are told by the grown-ups around them. How are those children going to remember you? A quote by Maya Angelou is something I would like for you to reflect on. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Again, I ask you, how will those children remember you? Will they recall feeling connected to you and accepted by you? Or will they remember you staying silent while they got demeaned, smacked in the face, their pants pulled down and spanked in front of everyone, silent while one is lifted up by his throat and choked by his enraged mother? I know how uncomfortable it is when it happens. We all fall silent and look away. The same women that do this to the kids treat their husbands in a similar manner. Most of you have said you feel bad for their husbands when they're treated that way, but none of us speak up and say what we keep witnessing is not okay. Why is that? Why don't we say that it's not okay to treat another person like that? Does the feeling of compassion for the person start to fade the more you see them abused and say nothing? Why are the boys and men in the family treated so poorly? Except one who is always held in the highest esteem. There doesn't seem to be a mean bone in any of them, which is obvious as they each sit silently while they are disrespected and abused by their wives and mothers. I feel a lot of guilt for not speaking up in the moments of abuse I witnessed, and I won't stay silent any longer. We have a choice day after day. Do you value Carla and Catherine and what they think of you over the safety and well-being of children? How do you not feel guilt for lying to authorities about how they are treated, resulting in one of those kids being put into a mental hospital, a group home, and then being arrested? Jackson told the truth about how he was treated, and you all decided to lie to protect his abusers. I believe every person on this earth has a purpose, and is here to accomplish something that only they can do. We probably won't recognize the purpose in the people around us, but that does not mean they then have no value. Seeing people as throwaway, or like they aren't as good as you because of the choices they make, leads to complete devastation. The ones being looked down upon becoming more and more depressed with each rejection. They sometimes try and cope or self-medicate with drugs and alcohol, leading to more judgment from the family. Eventually, they get tired of trying to prove their goodness to others and tired of feeling the constant pain of rejection. In some cases, they decide to end their own lives. How many family members are you willing to lose before you speak up? Joe is a 32-year-old charismatic, thoughtful, upbeat, life-of-the-party person. Nate was a 40-year-old funny, strong, optimistic, gentle person. Both would greet others with a big smile and an openness that let newcomers and family alike know they were welcome and accepted. Do you think either of them felt welcome or accepted in the last encounters they had with you? 32 and 40 are very young ages to leave this world. Do you ever think about how alone they must have felt? After it happened, did you ever wonder what could have been done to save them? Or was it easier to accept the loss since you no longer saw value in them because of how they tried to cope with what they experienced in childhood? Years of feeling rejected and judged by those closest to them. No safe person to share their broken, vulnerable selves with, and nowhere to find acceptance and understanding. So they tried to replace the constant and continuous hurt with another feeling using substances. Love and Compassion asks why they turn to the drugs or the drink. Sadly, we don't get to hear them share their truth about what they lived. I'll admit I know very little about their childhood, but what I do know is, Joe was kicked out at age 12 to live on the streets of California. Nate was around 13 when he was severely beaten in front of the entire family. He was never the same after that. Both those men could have taught you so many things about life. Just like Shelley still can. God is giving you another opportunity to be who you say you are. With both Shelley and Micah, you can choose to show love and compassion to the ones who need it most. One day a light will be shown into the darkest places we each have inside of us, and those who are disingenuous will be known. God gives us many opportunities to be the good, loving people we say we are, and standing side by side once we are fully grown, it is clear by the fruit, which is which. Will you be the wheat or will you be the tares? No matter what you believe about yourself, the truth will be known, and is known by the children who live it. My hope in writing this is that at least one of you has a conscience and decides to stop participating in the cycles of abuse that have taken over the family. Choose to be the kind of person that you needed when you were their age. The kind of person who protects those that cannot protect themselves. Or you can be just like the adults that sat by and said nothing while you endured a childhood of abuse. The choice is yours, and I pray that no more family members give up on life due to the treatment we have allowed to continue.